Hey, listen. Is it really true that you guys received $5 million from your husband's parents after they passed away? What? Oh, I guess I meant that Dave got $5 million from his parents' will, right? Man, but really, who would have thought that his parents had that kind of money just sitting around all the way until their passing? I so wonder why I ended up divorcing a man like him now. Had I known about all that cash, then I would have never left him. I'm sorry, who is this? Oh, I'm sorry for getting so carried away there. I'm Dave's ex-wife, Catalina. And you should be Summer, right? You and him got married around 10 years ago, correct? That's true, but how come you know my phone number? And how do you know about my husband's money that he just received? There is nothing in this world I don't know about. And one of those things that I started to know about recently was that my ex got married again. I don't get it though, considering he told me that he'd love me forever and ever. Well, this is probably another reason why I chose to divorce him back then. Well, when you stab someone in the back and then divorce them, they tend to stop loving you anymore. Huh? I've heard quite a bit about you myself from Dave. You just got up and vanished one day out of Dave's sight without ever telling him, right? There was another man you ran off with, right? And that's why you left him with a stack of divorce papers on the counter that you had already gone through and filled out. That's all I've heard from Dave about what happened then. Oh my, so you do know about what happened between us. Well, since you seem to know so much about me as well, that'll help moving this conversation along. There's actually a very good reason for why I'm contacting you today. I'm sorry to ask this, but can you please go tell Dave that he needs to hand me all that money he got from his parents? What? You want me to tell him that he needs to give you that $5 million? Yes, that's right. And the reason I ask is that because I'm his ex-wife, I also have a right to that money. Huh? I've been trying to contact Dave about this time after time already, but ever since the divorce, he's been ignoring me completely. That's why I had no other choice but to look up his wife's contact info and reach out to her. Therefore, can I ask you to please send him that message I've told you? Hold on for one moment. Why do you think you have any right to that money he inherited from his parents? Because I have the right. I mean, back when I was married to him, I had to live together with his parents at their house. Huh? Back when living with his parents, every day was so hard for me. As his wife, I was forced to do all the chores there. I had to cook for everyone and clean for everyone. Literally anything his parents and him didn't want to do was given to me. But because of all that work I put in, you can say that I was a better caretaker for both his parents than Dave was, right? That's why, as a thank you for all that time and effort I sacrificed, I should be given at least a percentage of that inheritance. As a thank you? I've heard from many people before that as someone who took care of them while they were growing older and older, I have a right to some of their things. So considering that I put in all that work for those two, shouldn't I get something in return now? At the very least? I think $100,000 would be enough to satisfy me. $100,000 at the very least? It was so hard having to live with his parents. You should be able to understand where I'm coming from here since you're his current wife. Don't you think that's a fair amount to be asking for right now? Not at all. The only thing I'm thinking right now is when is this clown gonna shut up? I've heard all about the time you had to live with his parents alongside him, and as far as I can tell, what you got in the end is what you deserved. Wasn't the reason for you having to live with them in the first place the fact that you went and used up all Dave's money that was meant for a new house on yourself? And so as a punishment for that, he had you and himself move back in with his parents and made sure they worked you enough to make up for all that money of his. What? Dave's even gone and told you about all of that part as well? From what all I've been told, you were forcing Dave to work and bring in all his money for your sake. He had even tried to ask you to take some time off from doing the chores if you wanted, as long as you got a part-time job or something to help bring in money for your spending. Yet you never listened to him and just continued to use him as though he was your wallet or something. That was... He told me that every time he'd confront you, all you'd reply with is saying that you only wanted to do the most simple chores in the house. Therefore, there was never a moment where you went and helped Dave earn more money for the house by getting a part-time job. And then, when you started to get upset with his parents for working you all the time in their home, you would leave at night to go mess around with another man. So, can you tell me again, Catalina, what part of all that is a good enough reason for you getting any bit of that inheritance he got from his parents? You're a real annoyance, aren't you? Just because you're his frickin' wife does not mean you get to talk to me like that. You're the one that ended up marrying my leftovers, so do you really think that someone in your position can talk to me like that right now? Excuse me? I want to talk with Dave about all this, so shut the hell up and go let him know I need to talk. Stop trying to get in my frickin' way when all I'm asking for is $100,000 from him. I wasn't trying to get in the way of you or Dave, to be fair. Well, then you shut up and do as I asked. Now, you go and let Dave know what I've said. You're going to tell him all the details, right? Dave, can you talk for a second? I know you probably don't want to talk about this, but I have news for you from your ex.
From Catalina?
Just a little bit ago, she had texted me about this. She told me that she's been trying to get in touch with you, but you kept ignoring her, so she had to talk to me instead.
Could this all be about her wanting part of the inheritance?
Yep. She wants $100,000 from you, at the very least. She says that she deserves the money after having to live and work with your parents for a few years.
I thought that by ignoring all her constant calls and texts that she'd give up, but no. She actually went ahead and started talking to you. I'm sorry, Summer. You shouldn't have to be involved in all of this.
No worries, Dave. It's not your fault. But seeing her trying this hard to get a bit of that money from you, did she really live that difficult of a life with your parents back when you told her she needed to go help them? She was telling me about how she was forced into doing everything for them for years as their caretaker.
Huh? How was any of that difficult for her? She told me she didn't want to work a part-time job at all, so I sent her there to help them with their chores. But every single day was the worst. When it came to her cooking, she'd still go out to the store and pick up pre-made foods for both my parents and I. And when the doctor started to tell my parents that they needed to stop taking in so much salt, Catalina went ahead and continued to feed them more fried foods. She would never put any effort into cleaning the house and would just sit around complaining about having to pick up a few crumbs off the floor or something.
The fact that she thinks she deserves even $100,000 from you all for that is crazy. I've already tried to tell her off myself now. But I'm thinking it would be better that you got in touch with her one time and told her to leave us alone yourself. What do you think?
No, just having to talk to her in general is a waste of time. That's why I'm just going to continue to ignore her, and you should do the same.
But by doing something like that to her, she'll never understand that you literally won't give her a penny and might continue to try harder and harder to talk to you. I think you should get in touch with her once and let her know that the money is not hers, and that her piss-poor effort while married to you will not be met with any reward. I get that ignoring her is the easier thing to do here, but over time it's going to start to wear you down even.
Well, I suppose it's a good point, but I really don't want anything to do with that witch anymore. I don't even think she'll listen to a thing I say to her if I take the time to reach out.
Let's just try our best, Dave. We don't have to convince her to agree with our stance or anything, just as long as we explain the situation with that money to her. Also, if you continue to ignore her all the time, she's just going to keep trying to talk to me about all this.
I wouldn't want that either. You have nothing to do with any of this. So she should just stick to me and leave you the hell alone. Alright, fine. Guess I have no other choice but to go and tell that witch off. I really don't feel good about all of this, but I guess it wouldn't hurt me too much to have to talk with her.
I'm so sorry, Summer, but it looks like I'll be getting that $5 million from Dave after all. Excuse me? But this is all because of you as well, right? You went ahead and told him what I was asking for me. You are much like Dave's and my Cupid right now. I'm not really sure what all you're talking about right now, so could you please walk me through again what's happened? Actually, just a little while ago, I got in touch with Dave again. I thought he was calling me to say that he'd be sending me some money soon, but instead he actually asked to come and see me in person. He said he had some really important stuff he wanted to talk to me about. And considering it had been so long since we last saw one another, he asked if we could talk over lunch or dinner. This has to be him trying to get back with me, right? He's going to come with all that money he inherited and propose to me again like he did so long ago. I'm not sure that's what's going to happen at all. I'm sure you just have the wrong idea here, so could you please keep all of that to yourself from now on? Wait, how is any of this the wrong idea? I happen to be prettier than you and use all kinds of higher-end cosmetics than you. I know for a fact that he's going to want to get back with me, and that's why he's coming out to talk with me in person. Huh? And another thing with Dave. For the longest time now, he's been ignoring me, right? But when I sent him a picture of myself looking my very best, he started to reply to me again like things had never changed. And that's when he told me he had something he wants to talk about, so we'll meet in public to have that talk. You sent him a picture of yourself? You would really do something like that to someone else's husband? Well, starting really soon, he's going to be coming back to me, so what's the big deal? I am so looking forward to the dinner we'll be having soon. I think I'll wear a really nice dress today to prepare for that proposal he has for me. Oh, but there's also a chance that tonight we'll be staying out at the same hotel, so I need to be ready for that. I'll make sure to get myself all prepared for that as well now, too. Would you cut all that out right now? Dave is not going out to see you with the intent of getting back together. I understand that you want to think something like that, but Dave is back to being focused on me again. That's why after so many years of ignoring me, he's finally stopped trying to evade me and is coming right back. You're going to be tossed aside in only a couple more hours, so you'd better get yourself ready for that divorce. What? I need to get a head start on filling out all the papers for our marriage now as well then. He's already putting in all the work to finally come back to me tonight, so the least I could do is get that paperwork all ready. And then both Dave and all that inheritance will be mine. Dave's parents are still alive, you know. What? I can't do this anymore. There's no way I can ask Dave to go and meet with someone as mentally unstable as you now. So in order to keep him away from you, I'll tell you everything you need to know right now. All of the things you've been confused about this whole time. Confused about what? By the way, what the hell are you talking about by saying his parents are still alive? Dave just got $5 million as an inheritance from them. If his parents hadn't died, then how would he be able to get that kind of money from them? You are partially correct. Dave did, in fact, get $5 million as an inheritance. But whoever told you that money came from his parents? Huh? Well, just by hearing that, wouldn't it normally be the case that he got the money from his dead parents? Let me ask you this, actually. If it wasn't from his parents that he got that inheritance, then who the hell did it come from? From your parents, Catalina. Huh? From mine? Yes, that's right. Your parents went ahead and gave Dave $5 million after they passed away. It was written in their will that he get that amount of money, so there was no way we could say no to it. The lawyer told us when handing over the money that your parents wanted him to have the money as a way of saying sorry for their terrible daughter. And that even though he wasn't related to them by blood or anything, he was still like a son to them. So that's what ended up happening. Huh? No way in hell that happened. Stop trying to lie about something as serious as that. I'm just telling you the truth is all. How is any of that the truth? My family is just your average family, and neither of my parents would have ever had $5 million just sitting around. And hold on, they aren't even dead yet. So tell me, when did they actually die, and what would have made them give their daughter's ex all of that money? I have no idea what you're going on about right now, and I might consider you more mentally unstable than myself right now. I'm sure to you, both of your parents may have seemed like any other family, but in reality, those two were very good at saving up money. And I'm really sorry to have to break it to you this way, but your parents are long gone. What? You're really going to continue telling me that sick joke? This must mean you had no idea what happened then. That's why Dave wanted to meet with you in person. And actually, it was me that convinced him to go out and talk with you in person about all the important details. And, well, that all happened around the same time you sent him that picture of yourself to try and get him to talk. Dave has never, ever thought of getting back together with you, and to be honest, he doesn't even really want to see you in person. Wait a second. It's not that I don't understand you, but rather I'm totally blanking on what's happening right now. What do you even mean when you say that my parents have passed away? Later on, you can listen to what Dave has to tell you when it comes to your parents passing. And when that time comes, you will listen to him in a serious manner and will stop trying to talk about getting back together again, right? Now I need to get going.
Thank you so much, Summer. You really did me a huge favor by bringing a lot of that stuff up with Catalina before I had to talk with her. Because of that, the whole time you remained quiet and listened to me, and the whole conversation went over smoothly.
That's great to hear. But how was Catalina when you saw her?
You could say she was looking really sad, but I think it was just all the shock that was making her look that way. But that's what'll happen, right? She had no idea her own parents passed away and had to be told today by her ex's wife.
That's right. She had all that information crammed into her head today, so of course she'd be frozen stiff from being in shock.
But this is just another step in the ladder of things she's had coming for her all this time, right? Back when her dad passed away in that car accident, she never answered any of the calls her mother gave her. And then when her mother passed away from that illness a couple of years later, she didn't answer any of the calls from the hospital.
Even after all those calls from both the hospital and her family, she never bothered to call back, huh? Had she just answered one of those calls, she wouldn't have had to live frozen in shock like she is now.
But there was a reason for why she never answered any of those calls from anyone then. So it's unfortunate that she never got to be with her family during either of her parents' deaths, but that's on her. You remember me telling you about how the divorce happened, right? About how Catalina ran off with the man she was cheating on me with and left me the divorce papers? At the time, she had borrowed money from my family in order to run away from me. The reason we never had enough money to move up from my parents' house and get a place of our own is because she borrowed $50,000 from them, and they took that from me thereafter.
Wait, really?
She had cried and begged for my mom and dad to give her some money so that she could get away because living with them was too hard. And so in the end, they gave her $50,000, thinking she'd use it with me to get us a house or an apartment. But in the end, we found out she was using that money to run away. And we only found that out after we got a call a few days later from where she told me she was gone for good. After that last call, though, she never answered any more of our calls or texts, and so we thought that was the end of her.
So that's why she was never answering any of her family's calls to her either? Or any calls, for that matter?
Which is crazy because her dad's accident and mother's illness all happened years after that. Yet she was still dodging any call or text people gave her. Had she just answered someone, then none of this would have ever happened to her now, and you and I could be living without her bothering us.
Now that you mention all of that, your mom really wanted to find Catalina and talk with her again, right?
When you and I got married, there was another couple at the wedding you may have remembered, right? They were around my parents' age and both wore very standard formal wear. Those were Catalina's parents, and ever since she ran off, they had been very close to me. That's why I felt I needed to go see her mom when she was in the hospital, and why I was there for both her mom and dad's funerals. I was even there to help with her mom's bedside care for some time before she had to go to the hospital. I just never thought that continued relationship with them would end with them writing me down in their will for $5 million.
I remember that day so clearly, Dave. That lawyer called you out of nowhere, and before we could even ask what the call was about, he was telling you there was an inheritance that you needed to receive. And when we went in to get it, it turned out to be $5 million. I almost passed out when I heard that number from the lawyer. Your ex's mother really left you with more than anyone was ever expecting, huh?
Had Catalina actually stayed in touch with her parents, she might have actually gotten some money from them. She could have used that time she might have had left with her parents to apologize for what she did and all that.
Well, I think her not getting a single penny from them is what she deserves. But I wonder if after hearing all of this from you and I, will she be willing to give up now?
The only option she has now is to give up. The reason all of this is happening to her is her own fault. And if she really still wants to have a piece of this money, then she can go talk to the lawyer about it. I'm sure he can get the point across to her that this is what her mom wanted.
Well, let's just call this the end then. Good work, Dave. I'll make you a small meal for when you get home, and then I'll get the bath all ready for you so that you can calm your nerves a little. Give me back my inheritance! That $5 million should be going to me! Why do I have to sit here and let that money go to my ex and his wife now? You already heard about everything from Dave yesterday, right? You never answered any of your family's calls or texts, and so this is what you get for completely ignoring all of them. Shut the hell up! I am going to go over there and steal all that money back right now. I'll make sure all $5 million are back in my hands. What? I never actually knew my own parents had all that money saved up before their deaths. I could have sworn they didn't have much money at all, and they never once lived like celebrities or anything like that while I was around. And how was I even supposed to know my dad got into an accident and died, and that my mom became sick a year later and passed from that? How the hell could they just give Dave all their money just because I didn't answer some stupid phone calls? I will not let this happen to me. If you have some complaints about how things turned out, why don't you go and tell that to their gravestones? They were the ones that chose to give Dave this money, so you have to talk to them. Shut up! I am tired of talking about this with you, so get that goddamn money together and wait for me to come over and get it. I'll be bringing a lawyer along with me who knows all about that kind of stuff as well, so you won't be able to say a single thing. I'll make sure that $5 million all comes back to me. I guess there's really no other option now. If that's how you're going to behave, then so will Dave and I. You are more than welcome to come here with that lawyer of yours. But know that the moment you step foot on our property, you will be owing my husband $50,000. Huh? $50,000? What the hell is that money for? That happens to be the amount of money you borrowed from Dave's parents, right? You do remember when you went and took that money from them, making it seem like you and Dave would be getting a new place, only to run off and use the money to get away from Dave, right? I remember all of that, but why do I have to pay that back? The parents I got that money from are both dead now. The thing is, though, it's your parents who are dead and Dave's who are still around. And since you took that money from them, they are asking for it back now. What? Back after the divorce, your parents actually got in touch with Dave's and handed them $50,000 so that Dave didn't have to end up paying his parents anything for what you'd done. However, when your dad passed away, your mom wrote in the will for Dave that he would be getting both the $5 million and the $50,000 that you should be owing your parents, who are now both gone. So, Catalina, you have to pay Dave $50,000 now. What did you say? Even though the people you should have owed that money to are gone now, you will still have that debt in your name forever. And, well, the person to receive that money from you was passed over to Dave in the will as well. You did say you'd be bringing a pretty strong lawyer along with you, right? I won't even have to explain anything to him then, because all he'll have to do is have a look at the will and that'll be all. Wow, I never thought you'd bring a pro and all that legal work along with you to pay us that $50,000 back. That is so very helpful of you, Catalina. Wait. I don't care about any of that crap, so you're not getting any $50,000 from me. You really think saying you don't care about the law will make a lawyer turn a blind eye to you? Well, if that's the case, then I suppose we can just say we don't care about you getting this $5 million from us, and so you won't be getting anything. Huh? Now I have to get going. If you still have things to complain about to us for some reason, then please bring us that $50,000 and then we'll listen. And after that last text from me, I never got another message from her again. I made sure to tell Dave about what she was saying, just in case, and he told me he really doesn't care about the $50,000 from her since he already got $5 million. And actually, he said it was good that I made that remark about the $50,000, because that should be enough to keep her out of our hair for the rest of the time. As for what Catalina's been up to after all that, she started to go around telling loan sharks and such that her husband had $5 million coming his way and used that lie in order to borrow large amounts of money. However, since that was a lie and the loan sharks are starting to figure all that out, she's been having a really hard time running from all their goons. Recently, we had heard some more news about her and what happened regarding those loan sharks. And it turns out that some of them were far scarier than even she thought, which led to Catalina no longer being in the US anymore.
Hey, are you Brian's wife? Because I just wanted to let you know that I'm going to be taking care of him from now on. But you know that he's always such a wishy-washy guy, so I really hope that you don't blame him. Don't worry though, I'll make sure to make him very, very happy.
Sorry, who am I speaking to right now? I have no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, right. I should have introduced myself first. I'm Brian's ex-girlfriend, Miranda. I'm also the person who he's dating the longest out of all the other girls he's known. I'm sure you've heard about me already.
Your name is Miranda. I'm sorry to tell you this, but I can't remember Brian ever mentioning knowing a girl like you.
Wait, what? You mean that Brian hasn't even mentioned me once? Well, that's still no problem. Maybe he just didn't want you hearing about how close we were as a couple because he didn't want to make you jealous as his current girl. He was probably just hiding me from you because he knew that you didn't even compare.
Okay, you seriously need to slow down and stop all of this nonsense. So, your name is Miranda and you're one of Brian's exes, right? Just why are you even reaching out to talk to me in the first place?
Why? Well, there's not any particular reason, I guess. I just wanted to know about what kind of girl Brian got with after him and I broke up. He can really have a really interesting taste in women from time to time, so it's my job to make sure that he's making good choices.
And you think that that's appropriate for you to do as his ex? I think most people don't do that to people they used to date.
I don't remember you telling me what I should and shouldn't be doing, thank you. We might have been broken up, but we're still good friends, and there's nothing wrong with that. All I'm doing is being worried like any good friend would, and I can see that he's picked a very surprising girl to get married to. I thought he would have married someone beautiful, and I have to say that I'm just shocked.
And just what is that supposed to mean?
Well, I only mentioned because I think I left quite an impact on his taste from when we were dating. I just thought that he would have married someone strong-willed and clever. Someone special, you know. But I guess he just ended up with some totally basic chick. Funny how life works like that, right?
Well, I guess that I'm sorry for not being the girl that you expected me to be, but you did just admit that Brian did marry me. So I might not know just how close you two were before, but all of that is in the past, and I hope that you realize all of that.
Oh, wow, maybe you're a bit more impressive than I thought. It's almost cute. But I can tell just from this conversation that you're the type of woman who is always trying to solve your husband's problems for him, right? I really, really hate those kinds of girls. You need to be more kind to Brian, but let him spread out his wings on his own, you know?
I don't need you telling me how I should be treating my husband, thank you very much.
Well, fine. Then congrats on getting married or whatever. Save my number just in case you need a hand with anything in the future. For instance, if you two get into a fight, you can just come to me and I'll make Brian feel better afterwards. After all, I know him better than anyone, and that means that I know how to calm him down better than anyone, including you.
Hey Brian, are you there? I was just curious if you know a woman named Miranda. I think that maybe you two used to date each other.
Miranda? No, I'm sorry, but I don't think I've ever dated a Miranda. Though now that I'm thinking about it, I do have an old friend named Miranda, but we never dated or anything. But what made you want to ask me this all of a sudden?
Well, I think this Miranda girl that you know actually just reached out and messaged me, and she introduced herself as your ex-girlfriend.
Wait, really? That Miranda sent you a message?
Yeah, she said that she was your ex-girlfriend and she was worried about the kind of woman you were married to. And then she went on to say a bunch of other rude things as well. She seemed to really be concerned about how her ex was doing, and she kept talking about you as if she knew you really well. I don't know, I think she was trying to flex on me as your ex or something like that.
Wait just a second. So then, Miranda was really telling you that we used to date?
That's what I said, yes.
But now you're telling me that you two never dated, so I don't know what to believe. I don't like whatever is going on, and I just want the truth, so be straight with me, Brian.
Emily, I'll promise you that I'm just as confused as you are. Besides, I was telling the truth when I said that we never ever dated.
You mean it? You two were never a thing at all?
Oh, we were classmates together from middle school on, and even were in the same after-school clubs too, so we did hang out a lot and spend a lot of time together. Though she was always acting more like a fussy mother than she was a friend, you know. She was always trying to do things for me and take care of me.
So then, it sounds like you two were actually quite close then.
Oh, we were. And I will say that other classmates would tease us and say that we looked like a couple, but I'll swear to you that we did not date. I'm not even sure that she looked at me as a potential person to date. I always felt like she saw me as more her kid or something like that.
And you don't know any of other Mirandas from your past that might be lurking around?
As far as I know, that's the only Miranda that I've known. But we both ended up going to different colleges and didn't really keep in touch after that. And ever since then, I don't think I've ever met another Miranda. But I guess she was trying to use our old friendship to try and get something out of you.
But why would she come to me with this when I don't even know who she is? I mean, I've never even seen a picture of this woman. I'll be honest, I was kind of scared.
I'm sorry, Emily. I wasn't trying to make light of this. It's just a bad joke.
Well, I hope you don't mind me asking, but I have to know for myself. You promised me that you and Miranda aren't talking at all right now, and you haven't seen her since finishing high school.
I swear to you, since we both left for college, I haven't spoken to Miranda at all. Wait, that's not entirely true. There was one school reunion for middle school, where her and I were both there, but so were all of our other classmates, and there was so much happening that day that we didn't even really get to talk.
Well then, just why is she coming out of nowhere to bother me? I don't like it. It doesn't feel right.
I agree. It sounds like she's up to something, and I don't like it. I think you and I'll have to just be a little more careful for the time being.
Hello there, Emily. It's been a while since we've last talked, right? How are you? It's me, by the way. Brian's ex, Miranda.
Hello, Miranda. Yes, it's been a while since you and I last spoke, hasn't it? May I ask why you're messaging me today?
Well, I actually have a really big announcement I just have to tell you. I feel so sorry for you, but I'm overjoyed because Brian and I have gotten back together. And that means that he doesn't need you anymore, so you can just get lost.
Excuse me? What are you talking about this time?
I mean that I want you to divorce Brian from me right now. After that, him and I can go out and get married. So I'll give you until the end of the day to get all the paperwork done.
Are you kidding me right now? Did you really just message me to tell me to leave my husband? And do you really think I buy that you two have gone back together? Can you just leave me alone? I don't have time for this nonsense.
Nonsense? And just what makes you think that any of this is nonsense? I know that it's tough to accept, but it's the truth, and you need to face it. Because I am telling you the truth. Brian and I have really gotten back together. Although I always knew that he always still had feelings for me, so I'm not surprised at all. But it was him who came to me asking if we could get back together.
Are you serious? You're telling me Brian searched you to be out with you?
Well, I'm sure you noticed that this is the first time we talked in a while, right? The reason for that is because after we talked the last time, Brian reached out to me and asked if I liked to meet up with him. So we went out to a bar, just the two of us, had some drinks, and Brian used the liquid courage to confess his feelings for me. But again, I always knew that he'd never given up on me, so I knew it was a matter of time before this happened.
I seriously doubt that Brian would ever go and do something like that. And I have no idea when he would have the time to sneak off to a bar to talk to you.
Well, of course you wouldn't know about any of this, would you? I mean, do you really think that a husband would just tell his wife that he's going to go out and grab drinks with an ex?
So then you're telling me that Brian kept all of that a secret from me and did actually go out to meet you? Not only that, but even though he has a wife, he still confessed having feelings for you.
Yes, I'm afraid that you've described it exactly well. I tried to turn him down at first, but I didn't want to be a homewrecker or anything like that. I told him that he had to let go of a beautiful girl like me and just focus on his wife instead. But then he told me that he didn't care what happened to you. So when I realized that he wasn't going to be changing his mind, I had no choice but to get back together with him.
Oh, please, don't try to make it sound like you were forced into doing this. And know that I have no intention of hanging Brian over to you and all.
Well, you say that, but Brian has already made the decision for himself. So I'm so sorry to ruin your marriage, but it's what Brian wants, and I don't think you have the right to deny him that.
I seriously can't believe what I'm hearing right now.
Well, it doesn't matter whether or not you do, because it's the truth and we're back together now. You're just in the way, so just get lost already.
I just want you to know that Brian is here and is cracking up at all you're saying.
What do you mean by that?
I mean that Brian is laughing about you claiming that you and him got back together. His face is literally turning blue, he's laughing so much.
Laughing at what? What are you even talking about? Brian is here with me right now. How can he be next to you?
I'm sorry, but Brian is here with me, his wife. And we're actually on our honeymoon right now in Tahiti.
What do you mean? I don't understand what's going on.
It means that no matter how many times you tell me to leave Brian, it isn't going to happen. Anyways, we're going to be out of the country for a couple of weeks, so...
So you two are really on your honeymoon right now?
That's right, and Brian still hasn't stopped laughing at this business he just tried pulling. He remembered you well, but only as an old friend. Certainly not any kind of girlfriend. And the reason I knew you were lying about him meeting in a bar because he's sick after just getting a couple of drinks. Sure, we've had a few drinks here and there on vacation, but he would never drink to the point that he's saying things like what you said he did.
Now, hold on just a second. This doesn't make any sense. How are you two going on your honeymoon when Brian has already taken me back? He's mine. He shouldn't be going on a honeymoon with you at all.
For the last time, Miranda, I'm not yours and we did not get back together. I don't know what fantasy world you've been living in, but you really need to wake up. But did you really think that I would ever want to get with a fussy woman like you? Man, some of the stuff you were saying was making me crack up so much that my stomach hurt. I mean, there was no way that you were being serious about that stuff, right?
How can you say something like that? I know that you're with your wife, so you have to be careful with what you say. But you confessed to me. You told me that you wanted to get together with me, and that's a fact.
Wait a second. What I told you was that I would always want to be your friend. You were the one who misconstrued that to mean that I wanted to date you.
You mean you just want to stay as friends?
But I don't get why you had to lie about you and I going out to get a drink. And yeah, I did reach out and invite you to a bar, but you left out the part where the rest of our middle school class was there. I invited everyone out to see if they would want to catch up, but again, you totally warped what actually was happening.
No, this can't be happening.
And yeah, I had some drinks, but not many because I'm so weak. And because of that, I remember everything that happened that night. Although I will say that it was fun getting to hang out with everyone, and I was thinking about doing it more regularly. And yeah, we sat next to each other and talked, but I wasn't confessing my love to you.
But I could see the passion in your eyes. I could see all the memories we had come flooding back. That's when you knew that I was always the right girl for you. That's when you realized you were still madly in love with me.
No, not at all. How did you even get any of that out of what I was saying to you? I mean, we couldn't even get back together if I wanted to, because we were never even dating in the first place. I don't have any lingering feelings here, because they were never there in the first place. We never, ever had any sort of romantic connection, so I got no idea what you've been talking about.
No, that can't be true. You're lying, because you're with your wife.
I'm not at all. Even at the get-together, you were trying to tell me what to do, how to eat, to sit up straight. You were just acting like you used to, and all it did was get on my nerves.
But I was only doing all of that because we were dating, right? I mean, everyone in school said that we were like husband and a wife, remember?
That was just what dumb little kids say. I was never once under the impression that we were dating. I don't think I ever could date someone like you, to be honest.
But why not? I'm beautiful and loyal, and I'm always taking care of you.
It's just it. You think you're all those things, but I never saw what you were doing as helpful. I always thought that you were just being way too fussy. And I was prepared to maintain a friendship with you, but now I know that's going to be impossible. Now, as my wife explained to you, we're on our honeymoon and don't want any unnecessary distractions.
Don't think that you've beaten me yet, you ugly sow. I haven't even shown you what I can really do. I will make Brian mine, do you hear me? I know him better than anyone, and I will make him fall in love with me.
What are you even talking about this time, Miranda?
I mean that Brian said he was going to try and hang out with our old classmates. Well, I am going to be at every single one of those meetups, and I will steal your husband from you.
Well, yes, he did say that he was going to try and make everyone hang out more often, but those plans have fallen, though. I'm afraid that you won't have any more chances to go after Brian anymore.
What do you mean?
Well, the plans fell through because Brian knocked me up while on our honeymoon. I decided to stop drinking when I started feeling weird while we were there, and I took a test when we got back home and it was positive.
So you're pregnant with Brian's baby?
That's right, and we're both overjoyed. But Brian reached out to his classmate and told them that he wouldn't be going out drinking while I'm pregnant. But all of his friends were very, very understanding and said that they can't wait till they can all hang out together another time.
But this isn't fair. Why do you get to start a family with Brian while I'm just here, single?
I don't know. That's probably something you should look inside yourself to find the answer to. Either do that or go talk to a therapist.
I hate you. I never want to hear from you again, and I certainly never want to see you as long as I live.
Deal. That actually sounds great to me, actually. Anyways, on that note, have a nice life. After that, I never ever heard from Miranda again. Brian, on the other hand, would still get messages from her asking if he wanted to go out and grab drinks with her. But he always told her that he wanted to be by my side in case I needed anything and avoided it that way. Brian even told me that Miranda started reaching to the other classmates, asking if they wanted to go out for a drink together. I hear she's basically blacklisted from any get-togethers now. Brian insists that she's a good person deep down, but just has a lot of issue. Frankly, I'm surprised that his heart is big enough to keep defending her. Either way, I just hope that one day Miranda wakes up and realizes the error of her ways. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to see more content like this.
Sam, today's dinner party was really fun. I'm sorry for having you pay for me yet again.
Well, that's fine by Bree. What the hell was that today? Why did you have to be so rude to my husband today?
Huh? I have no clue what you're going on about, but
I'm not screwing around right now. You were the one that asked to have this dinner party today so that you could talk with us. And that's the reason my husband and I made that reservation for that nice restaurant. Yet you and your husband kept on treating my husband like there was something wrong with him. So to us, that was not a fun dinner whatsoever.
we didn't really try to treat Alan as though there was something wrong with him. Actually, we were very kind to him today.
What?
You should know that myself and my husband have both graduated from a university, right? But out of all of us, there's the outlier, which is your husband, Alan. So we just thought that since he was a high school dropout, he wouldn't be able to understand our high-level conversations. And so to be kind enough to him, we made sure to speak in simple terminology. Yet you both started talking to him in the most childish manner possible. And then when there was something he questioned, you turned to one another and say that this was only natural of a dropout. and then you both would talk to him again like he was some kind of baby. But that wasn't us trying to treat him like he was stupid or anything. We just wanted to make sure that Alan could be part of the conversation and understand everything. Yet it seems you think we were trying to make fun of him or something. Maybe you thinking that way secretly means you're the one thinking your husband really is an idiot. Huh? I should have known that being a high school dropout would come with so many problems. Will you feel as though he's not smart enough for you? Why not just divorce him? It's not fair for us to have considered him a part of our family, right? Alan is a very respectable man and has done well for himself. So there's no way I'll ever divorce him for the reasons you're giving me. This is definitely not something someone in your shoes should be saying anyway, Bree. But that's exactly why I brought this up to you. I really never thought that I'd get a wedding invitation from you today to get to see with Alan. And since it'll be a cheap wedding anyway, with that dropout of yours, there's no way my husband and I would ever be able to sit through it. But I guess we'll come if that's really going to make you happy. I had planned out the perfect time to hand you our invitation and everything, but to think you'd actually just sit there and laughing at me and Alan about it? Sam, please think this through at least one more time. Your husband is a dropout, and a high school dropout at that, so he'll only bring you trouble in the future. And it's not like he'll be able to find a good career, and if he does, it'll be somewhere with low salary, right? If you could just divorce that useless husband, right now would be the best time before you have that wedding. I'll say it as many times as I have to. I am not going to divorce Alan just because you say I should. No matter how hard Alan has tried to find good work, he'll never stop treating me with the love and care that makes me respect him. I'm asking you to stop all of this right now, and for you both to look past the education he has. If you do happen to come to the wedding for the both of us, you'd better behave yourselves, or else I will not forgive either one of you. I can't tell you're really upset after yesterday, and so I am. I'm sorry about them, Alan. I should have known that those two would be rude to you.
Huh? I'm not actually all that angry about it, though.
But this morning, you didn't even talk with me at all, and left me straight for work. That must mean you're really upset about yesterday, right?
That's not it at all. I had a client that I really needed to make it in for, so I had no time to dilly-dally this morning. So I was out of the house before you even got out of bed. Oh, you don't have to worry about how I feel, because that was the only reason I didn't see you.
Is that true?
I'm really not that upset about any of that yesterday. If anything, I'm used to being picked on like that, so dealing with your sister and her husband was no problem at all. Actually, yesterday was kind of fun for me.
What?
The way the two of them talked to me yesterday was like watching a comedy or something. And when they'd start talking all businesslike, I could tell that they've never actually used some of those words before. Sometimes I'd chime in saying, "Wow, that system is like expecto patronum," and the two would reply, "Yeah, that system was like expert."
I was wondering why you were laughing so much back then. I guess those two didn't even know you were mixing in magic spells with their fake business talk.
Well, I'm just going off the fact that I'm a high school dropout, right? And normally, when you compare someone that graduated college to someone without a high school diploma, the college graduate is much more intelligent. But I know better than to think that I'm any less smart than them, especially after blatantly making jokes like that.
Alan.
I don't even think of my education as being embarrassing or anything. That's the most important thing. But me dropping out of high school, going overseas, was the best choice of my life. So no matter what they try and say to me, I won't mind it one bit.
You have a good point. And because of that, you'd made it this far. Well, anyway, good luck with work today, okay? I'll be heading out to work in a little bit myself.
We're almost to our wedding date, so only a little bit more hard work to go.
Good morning, Sam. Today the weather is perfect, isn't it? This would make the perfect day for your wedding, right? Don't be saying good morning to me, Bree. Do you know what time it is right now? The wedding has just begun, yet you and your husband are not still here yet. Well, about that, Sam, we decided that today the two of us would no longer be coming to your wedding. Really? So you've really chosen to stay away then? I had said to you before that we didn't really want to come. And after having another talk with my husband about it last night, we decided that today's wedding really isn't something either of us would be enjoying at. So that's why we've chosen not to come. There's not even a good enough reason for us to see a dropout get married to you. What? Excuse me, Bree? Are you really using that as your excuse for not coming today? Well, it's a great excuse though, right? Also, my husband and I are not coming to that wedding will also help you guys as well. There's also a good reason for all of this. And how would you not coming here help us? Because if your husband is a high school dropout, that would mean most of his guests are in the same boat as him, right? Do you understand what would happen if 2 college grads ended up being in the middle of all of them? They'd all start to get jealous of us too, and then the whole wedding would turn into a riot. Uh-huh? The bride and groom are supposed to be the main point of the wedding, right? But if we are both there catching all the guests' attention, then I feel bad for you two. So consider this me allowing the two of you to have a great wedding by staying away from it. You're lying, right? Are you seriously saying things like that right now? I'm very serious, Sam. So you can go ahead and just give up our seats, please. We are planning to use this day we both took off to stay at home and lay off. But this is the wedding of your older sister. I know that you both don't really want to be here, but are you really going to use that excuse on me? That would mean you are making fun of us again, right? And not only did you just make fun of us too, but all guests that Alan has brought along as well. I'm actually completely done dealing with you both. Even after all the things I'm doing for you, you're going to say that we're making fun of you all? Well, I guess I'd have to say that I've had enough of you as well, so this works out perfectly. Just be happy that I'm at least letting you celebrate your wedding with all those idiots. It'd be a waste of your once-in-a-lifetime event to even have overly intelligent graduates. They're ruining the whole atmosphere.
You're right in saying you'd both be a total waste.
Huh?
It's been a little bit since we last had dinner together, Bri. This would be Alan. I completely understand that you and your husband will not be coming to the wedding, and just to let you know I can agree that the two of you shouldn't be coming to our wedding. So, thank you so much for letting us know that you'll not be making it in today. It warms my heart to hear that from both of you.
How does that warm your heart? Not only should you be saddened by us not coming to see you guys, but being happy because of it only makes you look more like a dunce.
Well, I'm not a dunce, and that's exactly why I'm happy. You graduated from college and you still don't understand anything yet?
Excuse me, Alan?
I had allowed Sam to invite you to the wedding because you're her little sister. But I knew very well that you and your husband loved to judge people based on their education. And so I really had hard feelings about letting either of you lowlives into my wedding. So now I'd like to share with you those feelings I've had. So, from the bottom of my heart, I'm so happy you both aren't coming.
You can't just screw around about this now. Did you just call my husband a lowlife? Unlike you, my husband and I are both graduated from universities. Not only just universities, but Ivy League ones. So you have no right to calling either one of us lowlives.
You may have graduated from a very high esteemed university and all, but you left that place forgetting everything you should have learned there. All you are now is just two losers that think you're hot stuff because you have a certificate saying you went there.
Huh? Don't you dare start talking to me like that, you high school dropout. I thought you'd be asking politely to come and see your wedding while offering us money in return. Yet here you are talking to me like I'm an animal. Well, if you're going to keep this up, I'm not giving you and my sister anything as a gift. I have no need for handing gifts to anyone that thinks it's okay to treat me this rudely.
Which is fine, because I wouldn't have accepted it from you guys anyway. Getting anything as a gift from two idiots isn't much to be happy about.
Excuse me? Now you've really pissed me off. You think your little dropout butt can get away making fun of us? It's far too late for you to regret us not coming to your wedding.
Actually, I believe the two of you are far too late to regret what'll happen to you both. Me going easy on you both for your rude behaviour by just laughing it all off ends today. I'll make sure that you guys understand that very well.
Well, the two of us aren't ever going to see you ever again now. Now go back to giving all your stupid guests the cheap wedding they've been asking for. There's no way any of them are going to enjoy any of it now, though.
I wonder about that. Well, that'll be it from me. Go ahead and stay inside that house of yours and lay around all day.
Wait, Sam! What the hell is going on right now? Why the hell are those really popular artists showing up to your wedding? Uh-huh? Why do you know about them? I just saw them at your wedding on Instagram. Even my favorite artist, Swiftie Taylor, is there right now. Why is she there with you both, now taking pictures with you? Wow, they've really been posting everything the moment it happens then, huh? What do you think? Are they taking pretty cute pictures of me? But to be honest, standing next to Swiftie like that, I didn't know how to pose myself to match her energy. What's even worse is that the fact that there are Hollywood artists with you both as well. Why would all the actors from Primitive Planet 4 show up to your guys' wedding? Right now, your wedding is #1 on the most viewed events. Some of the live streams are saying that all those artists and actors are there for a friend's wedding. There are pictures of Alan and Mike J posted all over as well. There's no mistaking that that's Alan in all these photos. Oh my gosh, I hate that this is getting so much news right now. I had hoped they'd all come to our wedding while keeping it on a down low. But I guess they're all too popular to just show up without people taking pictures and making posts about it. Please answer my questions right now. Why are all these famous actors and song artists showing up to your wedding today? What kind of lottery did you end up winning for this? What the actual hell is all of that? These people aren't just here because we won some kind of prize. All of them are good friends of Alan. Alan knows a lot of people, and a lot of famous people at that. On top of that, he's worked with a lot of people, and they all made sure to bring friends of theirs as well today. And so that's why we were able to get this many people here today to celebrate the marriage of me and Alan. What? That can't be your answer to my question. What kind of person even is Alan? What the hell has a high school dropout been doing that gotten him to work with this many famous people? I'm sure I had once told you all about the kind of work he does before. Alan is the owner of a record company in California. And due to his success, he's even worked with other countries and their music artists to create hit albums. Actually, he helps with a lot of the music for the movies as well, hence a lot of actors and actresses being here as well. He's the CEO of a record company? I can't remember you ever telling me something as huge as that. Well, perhaps that's due to you need to cleaning out your ears. And there's also a part of you and your husband always treating my husband as though he's an idiot. And so because of that, you both just chose to believe what he could never amount to anything, and stuck with that idea. But normally that'd be the case with dropouts, right? He didn't even graduate high school, Sam? If he couldn't even make it through grade school, his life should be filled with troubles, right? So there was no good reason for me to think he'd have this own company. I definitely was never thinking he had a chance knowing this many famous celebrities. I'm sorry, Bree. The wedding is over now, and we're all going to be moving to an even larger building for the party. I'm so going to be pretty busy again, so I'll text you later. Sam, my husband and I are going to come over there right away, so go ahead and leave us on the list to get in, okay? Huh? I want to be there to get pictures of Swiftie Taylor as well. If you could get the whole cast of Primitive Planet 4 together with me, that would be great. I'm really sorry for misunderstanding Alan all this time, but we'll be over there soon. I'll make it up to him by handing him a gift or something. Nope, We don't need either of you here now. And we've already told security that you're no longer on the list, so please don't come unless you want to deal with them. Huh? Having you here would be the wrong choice for us, right? You'd change the whole image of my wedding and after party and make things awkward for all of us. But we are saying that we'd love to come now to celebrate your marriage and everything. If you're upset at me canceling last minute, I apologize to you for that. So please put us back on the list. But you guys are university graduates, so if you guys were here, everyone would become jealous of you two. And we wouldn't want any kind of trouble starting here now, would we? Huh? Just as you told Alan, you said having 2 college graduates here would be a mistake, right? Most of the people here haven't even graduated from college, and some not even high school. Swifty herself never graduated high school, making her a dropout as well. So in order to keep her happy, I'd like you both that you don't come. Wait, are you kidding me? A lot of the celebrities had things happen in their lives that forced them to have dropout before they graduated. But everyone here doesn't care about that and continues to do their best with the work that they love. What? Well, it's time for us to be getting back to the party. Know that if you do try to force your ways in, the security will handle you, and I'll give them full permission to use any force necessary. So if you don't want to get hurt, don't make any efforts to come. Sam, please, can you have Alan come and help us? So, do you think you can ask Alan to come and do something for us? He ended up blocking me and is no longer responding to anything I've been asking him. What the hell have you done now? Especially when you're asking for his help of all people. Well, it's my husband's job and it's gone downhill for him. His company had asked him to take care of a very important and big task, and the artist he was supposed to be working on with has gone and cancelled on him. He told him he no longer wants to work with him. Oh my, how unfortunate for your husband. So what the hell happened to cause all of this? Well, that's, I think the artist had happened to be at your guys' wedding the other day. So I think he learned about us and chose not to work with my husband. He said he doesn't want to work with my husband, and as long as my husband is there, he will not help the company out at all. What? Apparently that artist also dropped out of high school. And so when he found out about my husband and I making fun of dropouts, he chose to stop dealing with him. He said that if my husband can't come to respect anything other than someone's education, then he can't go suck it. And my husband has tried to apologize plenty of times to him now, but he won't forgive him. Well, it seems you guys really are in a tough position. This task he's been given is very important to the company, so if he can do it, he'll really get a good bonus and perhaps a promotion. So please help us, Sam. Just try something to get your husband to help mine out. I think having you say something to him can help rebuild everything. I'm sorry, but that's not happening. Alan says he doesn't want anything to do with you both. Huh? And he said he blocked you both for that exact reason. And as his wife, I agree what he's asking for. Are you serious? And as your big sister, I warned you both multiple times to stop what you're doing. Yet you guys never once changed your attitudes towards Alan. And of course, I was over you both as well and completely stopped asking you for you to stop it. So please understand that he no longer wants to see you and your husband ever again, and I'm thinking the same thing. You're kidding. You want to cut ties as well? I may not be able to have a good of a job as you and your husband, but I have my amazing high school dropout here to support me. Perhaps this will help you both learn to look past people's educations and start accepting them based on what they act over anything else, like normal adults do. We can't learn that if we're both in trouble. Please, I'll do anything for you as long as you help us. I'll give you anything you ask for, so please. Goodbye forever, Bree. And make sure to let your husband know as well that I said goodbye. I learned that in the end, that task that Bree's husband had been tasked with did not go well over for him or the company he was employed in. And after taking full responsibility for the mistakes made, as well as having to give full apology to said artist from before, he was given a demotion within the company, ending any chances of bonus and promotion. And as for Bree, she had tried her hardest to get me to talk to her again, going all the way to my parents and family about all of this. But because everyone already knew of the reasons for her not coming to my wedding, as well as the stories of how her and her husband treated Alan, not a single person in the family helped her out. And actually, most of them told her just how embarrassing she was as a family member, and that they no longer considered her as family. She was then forced to leave everyone, and now has to find a way to make things work as an outcast from my family with her less than impressive husband.
Thank you for watching all the way until the end. If you felt good after watching this video, please like the video. If not, please leave a comment and give us your feedback. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Your comments and likes help this channel grow. We hope you enjoy our other stories as well.